board of the Michigan Catholic Conference was unanimous at our meeting in endorsing the lawsuit. The Catholic Church, other institutions, we've tried a lot of things. We've asked the executive to rethink this matter. We've engaged in dialogue with the administration. We've gone to the Congress, asked for legislative relief.
It is fundamentally a constitutional issue, we believe, a violation of our constitutional rights for religious freedom. And so this also has to be an avenue that needs to be pursued, particularly since the other two have not borne fruit for us.
If we're going to preserve the Constitution of the United States of America, then we have to defend that Constitution when it's under attack. And right now, that amendment is under attack, the Amendment of Religious Liberty.
The Michigan Catholic Conference coordinates and is the conduit for over 10,000 church-related, church entity-related employees whose health care benefits are all being provided. So it's very much, there's very much at stake for the whole state of Michigan, all the dioceses within the province of Michigan.
The Michigan Catholic Conference, in particular, provides a very good example of why this overreach of government is so egregious, because we at the Michigan Catholic Conference, we provide insurance benefits for in the neighborhood of 1,100 different Catholic organizations throughout the state of Michigan, covering around 10,000 employees of those Catholic institutions. And not only are we the employer in this case, but we are also the insurer.
We're worried that we wouldn't be covered in the exemption or the accommodation that the administration has described.
Primarily because of the uniqueness of the Michigan Catholic Conference in providing employee benefits through a self-funded insurance program. And the ministerial exception, or the exception, if you will, simply provided that the requirement apply not to the institution, but to the insurance company, which in our instance is the same.
The word accommodation is a strange one to me. We have a right to religious freedom, and so that right has been infringed upon, and now we hear of an accommodation to protect us from that infringement. We want to go back to the right itself. There is no need for an accommodation.
I'd like to say something particular about the accommodation or the exemption. Embodied in it is a notion of what a church institution is. And it's so very narrow, it certainly doesn't fit what the Catholic Church teaches. We don't think that it belongs to a member of the government to decide what is the scope of the church's mission.
The problem is that there are some people that want to reduce this to a moral teaching question. And while that's really what the bishops are concerned about in the most immediate sense, our ability to teach as teachers of the faith, and to be able to teach appropriately and to be able to teach the moral positions of our church.
This is really a matter of our rights as a church, our religious freedom, our ability to uphold our conscience and to act within our beliefs. And so it doesn't, at this particular situation, contraception has been presented as an issue, but it's not central to our concern.
There are certainly, I think, attempts to shift the focus of this debate off of the religious freedom issue and place it upon issues of contraception and sterilization and abortifacient drugs that are used. And I remember when I studied logic way back in college, there was always a device used called the red herring, where something is thrown out there to distract from what the actual substance of the argument is.
And so we find people that are quoting statistics, reliable or not, that really aren't relevant to the matter at hand, and that's that the government is expecting religious institutions to violate their conscience and to provide insurance or provide medicines or provide procedures that are really against our beliefs that would require a violation of conscience. That to me is the heart of the matter.
We don't base our moral positions on public opinion polls.
The fact that many people believe in something doesn't make it morally right or morally wrong. Our values are determined on the basis of our faith, what we come to know through revelation and through the gospel and the application of the gospel to our lives.
There's no reason for the government to have to take us down this road. Doesn't that make the president or the Secretary of Health and Human Services into a kind of a pope or adjudicatory authority? I think this is why we are claiming we have a constitutional claim. That would certainly entangle the government in the affairs of religion, and in a way that's never happened before. That's abhorrent.
It's certainly important that we make it clear that it's not that we have anything specifically against President Obama or that we're trying to influence an election by any means. I'm a relatively young bishop, but since the moment that I was a part of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, we've been talking about this possibility. And so that was almost 2 years ago, before the elections were right before us.
So the question becomes, am I going to be forced to not provide health care benefits for my employees in the church? Are we going to, as a church, have to some of our organizations cease to exist and cease to be able to provide some of the much needed human services, not just specifically religious services, but the human services that we provide through education, through our Catholic social service agencies? Are we going to be restrained from being able to be there to help people because of this intrusion?
We really see our role as a faith community to reach out beyond our own community and to serve the needs of the people among whom we live and who have needs that we can provide, and to make sure that they are treated as decent human beings. They have the things that they need to have for a decent life.
If we are not successful, this will hurt many people. It will hurt our country because it will weaken the constitutional protections we have. It will hurt all of us who are engaged in the great social concerns and educational concerns that we have in this country, and it's going to hurt the many people we help. So this is a lose-lose situation unless our rights are vindicated.
I think that's why we have such support outside of Catholic institutions for this, because it really is a matter of rights. It's a matter of freedom of religion. And so it isn't just the Catholic Church that is concerned about this.
I don't think in our petition, our lawsuit, we're asking for special treatment. We're asking for the protection provided us by the Constitution and the laws of the United States. And I would expect any other religious institution to enjoy those same protections, whether it's a synagogue or a mosque, people of goodwill. We all deserve these protections. And so I see what we're doing is really, besides protecting the good of the Catholic community, I think it's a patriotic act.